So we're going to run through setting up the installation on a Bluehost server. We log in, we go to the domains section and then the subdomains. Creating sites as subdomains allows us to create multiple websites running on the same server system. What we put in here will be the subdirectory name under public HTML and the subdomain name. Okay, we go back to the advanced options. Under databases, we go to the MySQL databases choice, and then we create a new database. We'll put in type food. The system gives it its own prefix. Create the database. Now, we're running multiple websites, so we've already created the View Backup DB database as well. Otherwise, we would go and we would create that as well. Now, when we use the database, we need a MySQL username and password to access it. We make up the username we want and password, or we go down and select one already made, and we're going to do that. My user. Then we put in the database we want to attach the username to, and we'll put in the Thai food that we just created, and then we hit the add button. Here we can select the particular permissions for the user. We're going to select all. And when we set up the configuration file, we'll need to remember the name of the database, the username, and the password for the username. Now we need to populate the database with the tables that we're going to be using. We go back to the database options and select phpMyAdmin, select the Thai food database, and then we import, browse to our local expressedit files, and here we select the yourdatabase.sql, which contains the tables that we need. Hit go. Similarly, we would set up the View Backup DB database using the same yourdatabase.sql file, and we would import that, but we've already done that. And before we run the install, we need to upload files to the Thai food subdomain. This can be done through the file manager, which is slow. Do it through the command line. We're going to do it through FileZilla. Here on the left side, we've navigated to our downloaded expressedit files on the local system. And on the right side, we're at the public HTML on the Bluehost server. So from here, we navigate to the Thai food subdirectory under public HTML, or we can put in /Thai food up here. First, we'll upload the installed file gen into the Thai food directory. This is the file we'll navigate to when we run the install. During the install, it'll look for the common files, which are then put in various directories. First, it'll search for the common files in the subdirectory, and we'll put the common directory there for simple installs. If we want to run multiple systems, we would put it up in the home directory for the server, which is one directory above the public HTML. That way we only need one copy. So for demonstration, we'll put it in the Thai food directory instead. So we'll upload that. Now here we see an includes directory. If we look at that, we see it contains a config.class.php file. We need to configure that to match the database that we set up. Here it is in an editor. So we're going to make changes on this config file, which will be for each individual website that we're running on the system. For the encrypt pass, we'll change that to a unique password. The owner is basically a reference or the name of the particular owner that you can optionally change. Gets appended to a few things such as messages, or it can be used for your own custom purposes. We're going to change the database password to the one that we created for the username. The prefix was given by the system, and the user that we set up for this database was my user. The database name, we're going to put that in with the Bluehost prefix, and then Thai food. Now we're using the shared View Backup DB instead of making a new one up on the server. So we're going to put in View Backup DB behind the Bluehost prefix. And once again, that's for viewing backup DBs before we initiate a backup. Or if we're importing a page to the website, we can view it first. The prime edit directory is the directory that we navigate to for editing purposes. And we would put in something that's not easy to guess. That's also compatible with the file name. The session save path, we can also change to a compatible file name. The script submit, we've set that to false. The iframe submit, we set to true. This controls whether or not we can add scripts or iframes in post content. And the admin email is for successful and or errors in updating. The contact email, list of separated emails, that's for comments and feedback. Whereas newsletters and contact forms, those emails are set up within those particular posts. Okay, so now we can go ahead and upload the includes directory. That we want to keep in our particular subdomains. They're specific for each individual website, so we don't want to put them up in the server home directory. We want to keep them in the subdirectory. And lastly, there's main class files. These also are included files. So if we want to keep it simple and we're just running one website, we could merge these class files. We could merge it into the includes files under the Thai food home directory. So we're going to go ahead and highlight the files within the main class files and upload them to the includes directory under the Thai food subdirectory. But if we're running multiple systems, we would put it up in the server home directory. And once again, this way we can run multiple websites with one copy of class files. Be sure to change the name from main class files to includes. We haven't set up a domain name yet. We'll navigate to the domain name under the public directory. We'll run that in the secure mode, and we'll put in /Thai food. Then we're going to put in /install file gen, and we run that. Okay, looks like it ran well, and we're going to navigate now to the edit pages that we specified in the configuration files. It's asking to create a username and password. Okay, here's two initial choices. We're going to choose this first choice to create a column from the beginning. The second choice is to copy or clone a column from this page. But you can import a page from a different database if it's on the same account with the same username and password. Check out the videos on the Thai food restaurant for creating a page from the beginning, and lots more on expressedit.org.